Equipment is an important means of strengthening your characters as you play RPGs. While some games can vary widely in how they approach this, in general, most games will have a few common types of equipment for characters to wear. These typically include weapons, helmets or other headgear, body armor, shields, greaves or similar lower body protection, and accessories like rings, necklaces, etc. In RPGs, acquiring new equipment is not enough on its own. You have to remember to actually put it on your character to gain its benefits. To do that in Lunar, you open the menu, select your character, and you'll see a dedicated option for managing their equipment. Select the weapon or armor from that character's inventory in the bottom row, and when you equip it to that character, it will be shown on the top row in a specific spot dedicated for that type of equipment. If they had something else of that type equipped already, it will be unequipped and placed back into their inventory. In general, a simple rule of thumb is that higher numbers are better when it comes to the increase in stats that equipment provides. This is not always such a straightforward assessment, but an increase in a character's stats is your main goal and reason for having them wear new equipment as the game progresses. Some equipment is more suited to a specific type of character than others, and in many games there are restrictions on the types of equipment characters can wear. For example, a spellcaster character might not be able to equip heavy armor or wield a large sword, or a warrior may not be able to wear light armor or use a bow weapon. Weapons are a primary means of increasing your character's attack power. This directly translates to dealing more damage to enemies during battles. Some weapons can add interesting effects that your characters can perform, and others might have some pros and cons to balance out their overall benefits. Body armor is usually the main source of defense for your character. This helps reduce the damage that they will take from enemy attacks, which in turn helps increase their survivability. Some armor focuses on defense against physical attacks, while others provide more defense from magical abilities. Headgear, shields, and lower body armor all tend to be secondary sources of defense. Depending on the game, they might also provide other benefits, such as making it slightly more difficult for your characters to be hit by attacks, or boosting magical defense. Not every game has all of these types of armor, and some have more creative uses for them than just adding more defense, but it will vary depending on the RPG you are playing. The game I am showing here, Lunar Silver Star Story for example, has headgear and shields, but no greaves or similar lower body armor. Finally, accessories usually confer a boost in various stats or grant characters a special ability when worn. While this can sometimes be a simple attack or defense stat boost, accessories tend to provide other benefits separate from these that are more helpful and interesting. Some will grant protection from different elemental attacks. Others may boost less common stats like magic resistance or luck, and some will give characters a significant boon, such as healing some of their HP every turn or reducing the MP cost of their spells and abilities. There are 3 common ways you might find new equipment for characters as you play. The most reliable way is from weapon and armor shops that you find in each town or city that you visit. In exchange for currency from the game that you get from defeating monsters, you can buy new equipment for your characters to increase their power. How this usually works is that new places you visit as the story progresses further will have stronger equipment compared to what the shop sold in the earlier towns you visited. You may also find equipment from treasure chests as you explore, or gain it as part of a reward for completing a quest. These kinds of equipment gains can sometimes be the same things you find from shops, but finding them as rewards instead of buying them from shops saves your currency for other items you may need instead. Often, though, as a way of rewarding players for exploring thoroughly or completing optional objectives in the game, equipment gained from treasures and as quest rewards may be even better than what you can get from shops up until that point in the game. Finally, some enemies may drop special equipment as a reward for defeating them. These can sometimes be common equipment found in shops, but more often is something better, and in some cases unique to that enemy. This is another great way to acquire better than average equipment for your characters, but it can be challenging at times. For some games, the enemies do not frequently drop equipment, and in others it is more common, so it just depends somewhat on the game too. Since RPGs are very much a game of numbers beneath the surface, if you're feeling overwhelmed and struggling to keep track of all of the details, just keep the rule of thumb in mind that higher numbers tend to be better for equipment, and you can usually progress through the game smoothly just by equipping your characters with the strongest gear that you can get from shops whenever you reach new towns or cities. If you found this video helpful or informative, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a like. Doing so helps more people discover this content. And if you haven't seen my other videos in the Learn RPG series yet, you can check out more of those here. Thank you for watching. I'll have more for you soon, and if you want to get updates whenever new content releases, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Until next time.